Alright guys, welcome back to the Bad No Boy Ride channel. Today's video we're going to be doing is currency lesson number 2. Currency lesson number 2 is compound interest treasury notes. So what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be just doing this first part. Now in the old Bad No Boy Ride channel, I did not know that compound interest treasury notes went all the way to $1,000. I thought they only went to $50. Apparently there's a mistake in my coordinating there, if that's the right word. Because they were obviously issued in many of those different denominations. Yeah. So, what I'm going to be doing is for currency lesson number 2, sub-lesson number 1, which is the next video, I will have more of those printed off. Now, unlike interest-bearing notes, these notes do not have multiple designs as the interest-bearing notes do. They don't have multiple designs. So, like, interest-bearing notes, let's say we're talking about the $20 denomination, they're going to have, certain month and then 1861, and then there's going to be another interest-bearing note, that same denomination for 1862. These notes are only for 1863 and 1864, and some are for 1864 only and 1863 only, I believe. They do not have multiple designs over the years, so there's just one singular design for each denomination, so I don't have to print multiple of them. So every time I do a new sub-lesson, it will be a new denomination. You'll see what I mean by that when we come to that. But for right now, it's just currency lesson number 2. So what we're going to be doing is these notes started off at the $10 denomination. $10 denomination was of 1864. Compound interest treasury note of 1864. Gonna see what I can find here. Just bear with me. Wow, I look at that. So, compound interest treasury notes. These were now that we're moving into compound interest treasury notes and interest-bearing notes, we're moving into a category of currency that was being used mainly to fund the Civil War, which is going on during these dates that these notes were issued. Civil War was becoming very costly for both Union and Confederate sides, because as you may know, any war is very costly. Ever since we started having wars on this continent, from the French and Indian War, the American Revolution, all that things like that, sides that either lost the wars, but it doesn't matter who lost, who won. I mean, the Confederates were worse off with finances than the Union are, but there was a serious financial panic in the United States during this time. Mainly with there being such a shortage of small change, such as Indian head cents, Indian head cents and nickels, and all those basic things needed for commerce, that they were issuing fractional currency. We'll be getting into that. I don't know if we will, but that's way past all this stuff, so we're not going to go into that today. But interest-bearing notes, so they needed that. Basically, they were using these notes and interest-bearing notes to accrue interest so that they could be redeemed over a certain period of time, have that interest over on top of them, so they might be worth, instead of $10 when they were issued, they might be worth $30 when they're redeemed, so that money can be added and paid for debts. Because we're going to be thinking about copper here, which is needed for bullets, or mostly balls for muskets, and the ammunition that came out, the new repeating rifles. Also the cannonballs, all of their food, all of the soldiers' wages, the stuff we used to make the tents, all the pans that they used for cooking, basically all their equipment, all their clothing, everything that they had that they needed for war. Any object they had costed some sort of money, whatever it be, it costed some sort of money. So and that accumulated over time, and I think it actually eventually amounted to like some trillions of dollars in today's money, the cost. So they went through many financial panics, and they were trying multiple ideas to get that fixed, and these are one of the ideas they're trying for a paper currency. They came in denominations of 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, and $1,000. They would be paid out at the end of 3 years. So they would give someone the note, and then they would redeem it again after 3 years, and all that interest it had accrued would be also paid, so that they could make money and help put that towards the war effort. So, some of these notes do have interest tables on the back of them. I think all of them do, actually. So I'm going to see what I can do here. I should have the back designs for most of them, but I do not appear to have the back design for the $10 one. So I'm just going to have to describe that to you. Trust me, I will try to do that as little as possible because I'm not a good describer. These notes were, what was I going to say? The notes, yeah, so they had an interest table. When I print these off, it doesn't matter what, sometimes I get certain images that are smaller in size than others, so the bill might come out real small or real large, so whatever size it is, it's just kind of whatever I can get. So that's that. So we're going to start off with the $10 one here. $10 compound interest treasury note. And a printing process that they use for this is they actually put the words compound interest treasury note across the front, because a lot of these notes had the same designs as their counterpart, the interest-bearing note. So they had almost the same exact design, so they wrote compound interest treasury note on the front. And this was either in bronzing powder or just regular green ink. This one I have is in bronzing powder, and the one in the book is in bronzing powder, so I'm guessing that's more popular than green ink. I do have a compound interest treasury note here that is of a different denomination that does have green ink, so you can see what that looks like today. Alright, so this is going to feature a portrait of Simon P. Chase on it. We know who he was, treasured under Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War era. And this was before a law was passed that no living person could appear on currency. So that is why Simon P. Chase was living at this time, but his face still appeared on currency because that law was not passed yet. So that's why that was in effect. So, it does not specify who this allegorical figure is on here. Oh yes, it is. It's a goddess of peace. Then there's an eagle at the center. So we're going to have Simon P. Chase here. So this is one of the smaller designs. We're going to have Simon P. Chase here, goddess of peace, the eagle at the center. Compound interest treasury notes written across the front in bronzing powder. Small red spiked treasury seal. Serial is 403523. This is probably just a specimen of one that's in a private collection or some sort of collection. Plate letter D. Now the back has an interest table on it. I'm going to quickly read the interest table to it because I don't have a... The back I actually have is this one, but this one's for the interest-bearing note one. So it's not the right one. So I'm not going to keep that for this. I'm not going to use that for this. So the interest table reads, in 6 months after issue, this note is worth $10.30, so it gains 30 cents interest. Then after 1 year, it gains 60 cents interest. After 18 months, it gains 92 cents interest. After 2 years, it gains $1.23. 30 months it gains $1.59 interest, and then 3 years it gains $1.94. So that brings up to $11.94 when that note was redeemed. He give you the $10 bill back with the $1.94. All that money would go to the relief fund for the Civil War. So, values. Oh yeah, and the back is in green. It has 2 10 counters to the left and right of the interest table. This one is 1864, December 15th, 1864. And this is included in this value chart. Signatures of Colby and Spinner. VG8 is going to bring you $2,000. Fine 12 is going to bring you $4,000. VF20 is going to bring you $10,500. And EF40 is going to be bringing you $16,500. And AU50 and uncirculated 60 do not have values. So that's that. $20 note is real small here, but that's the best I can do. I'm sure I could probably do better, but you know, it's just that. I got a front and back design for it. This note has the same design as the interest-bearing note, the last one with the $20 denomination issued. Alright, this is the interest treasury note of 1864 and 1865. It'll feature a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on it. Another living figure at that time, and once again, that law was not passed yet. For some reason, compound interest treasury note is not in here. So, I'm not going to be able to tell you. I don't know what goddess that is on there. Perhaps it's going to tell me. Okay, the goddess name is Victory. There's a mortar at the lower middle, and Abraham Lincoln at the right. So Abraham Lincoln, goddess of victory, mortar. December 15th, 1864, 0255693, small red spiked treasury seal, bronzing powder used. Back. Interest table, 220 counters. This is almost exactly what the $10 one looked like, except there was 10s and stuff. The interest table reads, it's gained in 6 months, it's gained 60 cents interest. In 1 year, it's gained $1.22. 18 months, it's gained $1.85. 2 years, it's gained $2.51. 30 months, it's gained $3.19. 3 years, it's gained $3.88. So $20 with $3.88 interest accrued at the end of 3 years. You may not think that's that much, but $3.88 back in that day was a lot more than it is today. You know, most kids, little kids in their piggy banks, they got $30 in their piggy banks. Back then, your lucky kids had a couple quarters to scrub together because, you know, money's devalued a lot since today. So that's why it didn't accrue a lot, but it was worth a lot more back then. So that's that. Values. There are no values for this. Or yes, there are. Yes, there are. So in VG8, 2,750, fine 12, 5,500, VF20, 19,000, and EF40 is going to bring you $34,000. AU at 50 and beyond do not have values. It's going to bring you a pretty penny. Now onto the $50 one. This is the final one that I have to show you today. Alright. So, on here. This one does not have the resemblance of the interest-bearing notes. Yes, it does. It's just earlier. So, I do not get a name of the allegorical figure that is on this here. So I haven't memorized these allegorical figure names. You know, there's a lot of different types of them. I'm going to try my best here to find it in a little amount of time. So, justice with shield and loyalty, aka liberty, is the name of that. So we're just going to kind of call that shield and loyalty justice there. Justice with shield and loyalty. Thomas Jefferson, or is that Alexander Hamilton? Yeah, that's Alexander Hamilton. So my mistake. That's Alexander Hamilton. May 15th, 1865 is the date on this one in 220912. Plate letter A. I did not state the plate letter for the $20 one. It is A as well. Yeah. This is probably actually about what the size of one of these notes, I think. If you think about most large size notes, like the large size silver certificates and stuff like that, these would have been slightly bigger than them. So they're going to be a little bit big. This time it has green ink, not bronzing powder. The words compound interest treasury under bronze on here is green ink on this one. Okay. That's that. Now the back has an interest table. They all do, but this one, 6 months, it's gained $1.50 interest. 1 year, $3.04. 18 months, $4.63. 2 years, $6.27. 30 months, $7.96. And 3 years, $9.70. So it gains a lot more. So $50 plus $9.70. Now, I don't know if each note accrued different interest to the same denomination. I don't know. That might be the case, but I'm guessing that's just the same for all. It looks like it's the same. So I'm seeing a 9.70 on there. So yeah, it's the same for all 50s. So that's the back. A little bit of a richer green in this photo in the book here. So that's the 50 there. Alright, currency sub-lesson number 1 is probably going to bring us the $100 denomination compound interest treasury note. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe, leave a like on the Bang Note Boy Ride channel.